we found a planet we could escape to. We found signs of life there. And we've spent 60 years doing almost nothing about it. Most people think Mars is humanity's backup plan, a safety net waiting in the distance. But the deeper scientists look, the more Mars starts to feel like something else entirely. Not a destination, a warning. And once you see it that way, you can't unsee it. When most people picture Mars, they see a dead world, endless red dust, empty craters, a frozen desert that never mattered and never will. That's the comfortable version. The real version is worse. Billions of years ago, Mars had rivers. It had lakes, liquid water carved through its surface for millions of years. And in 2025, NASA's Perseverance rover examined a rock inside Jezero crater and found potential biosignatures, chemical and mineral patterns that could point to ancient microbial life. Scientists were careful. This is not confirmed proof. Other explanations exist, but it is one of the strongest biological clues ever found on another world. Stop and let that sink in. Mars may have once supported life. Then it lost its atmosphere. It lost its magnetic field. It lost its water. It became exactly what you see today. A frozen, irradiated desert where nothing survives and nothing grows. But here's the part almost nobody talks about. If Mars once supported life, what exactly killed it? Because the answer to that question isn't just a geology lesson. It's a mirror, and we're standing in front of it. We found signs of ancient life on Mars, which means Mars was once habitable, and we're watching pressures build on the only planet we've ever called home. That biosignature rock isn't an exciting discovery. It's a warning, delivered from 400 million kilometers away. And yet, instead of hearing that warning, we've decided to pack our bags. Space agencies and private companies are now openly planning human missions to Mars in the 2030s. For years, figures like Alyssa Carson have become symbols of the Mars generation, an entire generation that has grown up believing they may witness humanity's first footsteps on another planet. The dream has a face, a timeline, and a budget. Becoming a multiplanetary species no longer sounds like science fiction. It sounds like a plan. But ask yourself the question nobody in that conversation wants to answer. Why are we so desperate to find another home while we're still actively damaging the one that works? We're not heading to Mars because we're explorers. We're heading to Mars because we're afraid. And fear is a terrible navigator because it makes you focus on the exit instead of the fire. But here's the part that gets buried underneath all the ambition. Getting to Mars might kill you before you arrive. The journey takes roughly 7 months. 7 months inside a spacecraft smaller than a studio apartment. No rescue, no return option, no emergency landing. Just empty space and a slowly accumulating threat you cannot see, feel, or stop. Earth's magnetic field shields every living thing on this planet from high-energy cosmic radiation. The moment astronauts leave that protection, the shielding is gone. Radiation begins passing through human tissue. It damages cells. It raises cancer risk. It doesn't announce itself. It just accumulates. Quietly, constantly, for the entire duration of the journey. Add to that, muscles atrophy, bones weaken, isolation degrades mental health. And as the distance grows, communication delays stretch to nearly half an hour each way. A medical emergency on the way to Mars means waiting for a response from Earth that arrives after the window to act has already closed. This is not a problem we've already solved. It's an open wound in the Mars mission plan, and the window to fix it is closing. Every year we delay another year without better shielding. Another year without faster propulsion. Another year without the medical countermeasures the first settlers will need just to survive the trip. Radiation isn't just a danger, it's a countdown, and we keep hitting snooze. Now imagine you survive the journey. You land, you step onto the surface of Mars, and almost immediately you have to go underground. Not because it's convenient, because the surface will kill you. Mars has no global magnetic field. Its atmosphere is a thin ghost, less than 1% of the density of Earth's. The surface receives constant radiation. Dust particles destroy equipment over time. There is no breathable air, no liquid water, no natural buffer between a human body and the environment trying to end it. The most credible plans for Martian habitation don't involve glass domes or futuristic skylines. They involve tunnels. Ancient lava tubes formed billions of years ago, buried beneath the surface, shielded by meters of Martian soil. That is where humans would live. That is where humans would work, sleep, eat, and spend the majority of their lives. Underground. On a planet we fled to because we couldn't protect the one we already had. The cruel irony cuts deeper the longer you hold it. Humans might one day be forced to live underground on Mars, for the exact same reasons humans might one day have to live underground on Earth. If we let things get bad enough, the bunker isn't a dream. The bunker is what's left when the dream fails. And somehow we've started romanticizing the bunker. Mars is humanity's autopsy report, and the cause of death looks familiar. Assume the habitat works. Assume people are alive underground on Mars. Now they need to eat, and supply ships from Earth, crossing hundreds of millions of kilometers every few years, are not a food system. A colony has to feed itself, which means farming on a planet where nothing grows. The proposed solution is aeroponic agriculture. Plants grow with their roots suspended in nutrient-rich mist, inside closed-loop systems that recycle every drop of water, waste almost nothing, and operate entirely independent of soil. It's elegant engineering. It's also the only option. And then comes the detail that should stop you cold. Mars's atmosphere is roughly 95% carbon dioxide, the exact gas plants need for photosynthesis, the exact gas we've been pumping into Earth's atmosphere at a rate that is altering the climate of the only planet that has ever supported human civilization. On Mars, that CO2 becomes a resource, a survival tool, a farming input. We would be building farms on Mars using the very thing that is destabilizing Earth. That isn't ironic, that's a confession. We're already learning to survive in conditions we are actively creating. We're rehearsing for a future we keep insisting we're trying to prevent. Earth is irreplaceable, and we are treating it like it isn't. That's the sentence the entire Mars conversation has been dancing around. And it needs to be said before anything else in this section, because everything else in this section proves it. The terraforming fantasy, where humans arrive on Mars, warm the planet, thicken the atmosphere, and eventually walk outside without a suit, collapses against physics. Mars lost its magnetic field billions of years ago. Without it, any atmosphere we tried to build would bleed into space over time. The energy required to reverse that, at the scale required, with technology we don't have, sustained for timescales longer than human civilization has existed. It doesn't work. Not permanently, not practically. Mars doesn't become Earth. Humans become Martians. We adapt to the planet. The planet doesn't adapt to us. There's no backup planet. There's no second home waiting to be unlocked. There's no escape hatch. Mars will never simply become another version of Earth. Humans who live there will not be living on a new Earth. They will be living in engineered survival environments, underground, on a frozen, irradiated desert, farming in mist using the gas that broke the world they left behind. That's not a destination, that's a consequence. Mars may have once supported life. A habitable world became a dead one. The journey to reach it could kill you before you land. Living there means going underground. Feeding yourself means using the atmospheric byproduct of Earth's own decline. And transforming it into something livable is, in any permanent sense, beyond what we can do. Mars is not the answer. Mars is the question. And the question is, how did a planet that had everything lose it all? Maybe Mars isn't teaching us how to build another world. Maybe it's teaching us how easy it is to lose one. Mars isn't our second chance. It's our final warning. So what do you think? Is Mars humanity's future or its warning? Drop in the comments below. If this made you see the conversation differently, hit like. Subscribe if you want more videos that don't just cover what's happening, but what it actually means. And share this one. The people most convinced Mars is the escape hatch are the least likely to find it on their own.